He never lost a single battle, not one, in 17 wars. His monuments are still standing in New York, London, and Rome right now. And almost nobody walking past them knows his name. His name was Thutmose III. And this is the story of how he built the largest empire Egypt would ever see. Here's where it starts. Around 1479 BCE, a child pharaoh inherits the throne. His stepmother, Hatshepsut, rules as regent. Then she crowns herself pharaoh outright. She rules for over 20 years. Trade, monuments, stability, not war. That child was Thutmose III. And for 2 decades, he waits. Egyptian art from this period shows them as co-rulers. But look closely. Hatshepsut always comes first, full royal regalia. Thutmose stands behind her. We don't actually know how he felt about it. Later historians love the rivalry story. The evidence for it is thinner than you'd think. What we do know, while Hatshepsut secured trade routes, Thutmose trained for war, archery, chariots, command. That difference is about to matter enormously. Around 1458 BCE, Hatshepsut dies. Thutmose III, now in his early 20s, fully trained for war, becomes sole ruler of Egypt. He doesn't waste time settling in. Within 2 years, a coalition of rebel states gathers in Canaan, led by the king of Kadesh, at a city called Megiddo, openly defying Egypt. Thutmose marches north immediately. This is where his reputation is built, and it starts with a decision that could have ended his career before it began. 3 routes lead to Megiddo. 2 are wide and safe. One, a narrow pass called Aruna, is so tight soldiers have to march single file, completely exposed if the enemy is waiting. His war council says no. Thutmose overrules them and leads the march through Aruna himself at the front. It works. The enemy spreads across the 2 safe routes, certain Egypt will take one of them. Nobody guards Aruna. Thutmose's army walks out unopposed, directly between the enemy's divided forces, completely by surprise. The battle that follows is a decisive win. Then something almost undoes it. Egyptian soldiers stop to loot the enemy camp instead of chasing them down. That gives the coalition just enough time to scramble back inside Megiddo's walls. What follows is a 7-month siege. Egypt builds a wall around the entire city, cuts off food, cuts off reinforcements. Megiddo surrenders. Slower ending than the battle. Same result, total victory. Egyptian scribes carved this campaign into the walls of Karnak Temple in extraordinary detail, giving us one of the most complete battle records from the entire ancient world. Megiddo is just the start. Over the next 2 decades, Thutmose leads roughly 17 military campaigns, almost annual, each one expanding Egypt's grip on the region. He pushes north to the Euphrates River, deep into territory held by the powerful kingdom of Mitanni. Then he does something symbolic. He crosses the river and erects a victory stele on the far bank, right next to one his grandfather left decades before. The message, Egypt is back, and Egypt has gone further. South, Egyptian control reaches deep into Nubia, past the 4th cataract of the Nile. By the end of his reign, Thutmose III commands the largest empire ancient Egypt will ever hold. Roughly 1,500 miles north to south, 17 campaigns, 0 defeats, not one. That record is exactly why the Napoleon comparison stuck. Except, unlike Napoleon, Thutmose never got his Waterloo. Thutmose didn't just conquer. He built. He expanded Karnak Temple, commissioned obelisk after obelisk, solid granite, carved with his military and religious achievements. Centuries later, those obelisks leave Egypt entirely. Roman emperors ship some to Rome. In the 1800s, others get gifted or sold to London and New York, where they still stand today. Nickname Cleopatra's Needles, which makes no sense. They have nothing to do with Cleopatra. They were carved for Thutmose III over 1,000 years before Cleopatra was even born. One more piece of his legacy, the controversial one. Later in his reign, Thutmose orders Hatshepsut's monuments defaced, her image chiseled out, her name replaced or erased. For years, historians called this revenge. A stepson erasing the woman who blocked his throne for 20 years. Newer research complicates that. The defacement happens decades after Hatshepsut's death, well into his independent reign. That timing weakens the revenge theory. Most historians now think it was political, securing a clean, uninterrupted line for his own son's succession. Not an emotional act. Thutmose III took an empire built on trade and stability and turned it into the biggest military power ancient Egypt would ever be. 17 campaigns, 0 defeats. Monuments still standing on 3 continents today. A few generations later, a very different pharaoh takes the throne. One who doesn't want more territory. He wants to tear down Egypt's entire religion and start again. Next time, Akhenaten. Possibly the strangest ruler ancient Egypt ever produced. Subscribe so you don't miss it.